All right, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to our free masterclass. You know my name. I'm Vivian S. De Guzman. I am called #1 Money Magnet Activator because I have 5 money gates in my human design. And I'm also called Human MRI. So for those of you who know, I was a physical therapist in the past. I still have a license. And I used to practice for clients with cancer, TMJ problems, any kind of hard to treat conditions like lymphedema. So that was my previous lifetime, right? In this lifetime. And then I realized that I could read energies. And so I started sharing my gift and knowledge about that. So today, I really wanted to share this with you because our whole team, so we have majority of people here. Amy Fahim is our quantum code activation practitioner. Vienna Dunham is our emotion code practitioner. And Therese Nadeau, she's not here today, but she's our oracle card master reader. So you're going to hear from each one of us every single day. So today it's my turn to share my knowledge and skills with you. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to do a presentation and I'm going to ask you to have a pen and paper handy because I want you to know a lot about yourself, right? Are you really aligned with yourself or not? Because if you're not, that's why sometimes it's hard to manifest, whether it's money, relationship, or good health. But when you're aligned, I promise you things happen really quickly. It's very, very quick, okay? Because now the universe, it's almost like you have to put your own brake in order for it not to show up in your life. So if you know yourself, okay, anything is possible. You just have to stay in your lane and not copy everybody else. It doesn't matter if you have a twin. If you're not aligned, you're not aligned, right? So you have to align to you, the higher version of you. And the more you know that, okay, manifestation is easy. You can think about it and then it happens. That is, if you don't contradict what you're thinking, right? Like whatever shows up in your field. So I am going to share this with you now. All right. Okay, so obviously, when I say align to your energy centers for manifestation, I can't help but share with you that there are 7 basic chakras in your body. You'll find this because they're pretty invisible, but if it doesn't work, it hurts and there's a lot of issues that come with it, right? So if you think of the root chakra, the very bottom, right, and the very top, those go upward and downward. So the root chakra goes down. Just think of a flashlight. You know how when you carry a flashlight? So if your root chakra is a flashlight that goes downward, and it's easy for you to access resources because money comes from this physical plane. So when you look at the first 3 chakras, root, sacral, and solar plexus, those are the physical earth chakras. So why are we talking about chakras? Well, you want to manifest, right? So if you don't know your spiritual body, it's very difficult for you to manifest everything that you're thinking about in the physical form. It's like a bridge, right? So the root chakra goes down like a flashlight and the crown chakra goes up like a flashlight that goes up. And the rest of the sacral, solar, heart, throat, and third eye, we have a forward-looking flashlight, so to speak, for the future, and we have a backward-looking one for the past. Now, for some of us, it's very easy to say, well, I feel good. Okay, good. It's great you feel good. You'll notice money comes easily and effortlessly to you when you feel great, okay? But when something bothers you, right? Something hurts, something's a little bit tight, it doesn't quite work well. It's very simple. It's like, you know, when you're a kid, either you like your playmate or you don't like your playmate, right? Simple. So think of forward chakras as referring to your future, and everything in your back is referring to your past. So if you have a lot of symptoms in the back, there's a lot to resolve in the past. It could be karmic, It could be a relationship you've had. It could be the relationship you have, but the person doesn't like you, right? Like they're mad at you. Those can affect your energy field. Okay, just take a note. So raise your hands if you're sensitive or empathic to other people's energies. Just raise your hand. Yep. It's kind of like, you kind of know, right? If you like the person, you feel good around their presence. If you don't like the person, suddenly as soon as they walk in or you walk into their field, you're like, oh my God, how come I have a headache and I never had this before, right? So you got to know your level of sensitivity. So if you think about 0 to 10, 10 being extremely sensitive, just write down on your paper, how sensitive are you when an energy is introduced to you or you come into someone's field? Just write a number. And then number 2, do you carve out specific time for your self-care? Now, this comes in different form, right? So I love to meditate, walk outside, be around nature. It just instantly grounds me. Some people, we do yoga. I'll ask you guys to mute yourself so we don't hear the background noise. So it depends on how you're carving out your self-care time, because you got to rejuvenate daily, right? Think of the whole day as a lifetime. The beginning of the day to the end of the day, that's one full lifetime. And technically, we shouldn't be carrying stuff the next day unless you did not finish it, right? That's that. Or do you say yes to a lot of people and events and end up frustrated for not having the time for yourself? I can tell you, for those of you who are generators or manifesting generators, if that's your human design type, you are like magnets. So there's no reason why you shouldn't make money, because you pretty much pull it in. So if majority of what's in your field is negative about that topic, that's what you're pulling into your field every single day. So that's why it's super important to clear yourself. So then you become just like a good magnet, right? So if you say, I'd like to attract a $10,000 client today, then you pull it in because it's clear, versus, oh, but then I don't know if I need to charge them 2,000, 10,000, 5,000, you know, like you're confused. So your audience will be, because you're the magnet, right? You pull in whoever you are. That's how simple that is. So how many of you know how much money you'd like to make this year? I'm sure we all do, right? And ask yourself, are you on track? Are you on track with where you want to be? And what do you truly want to manifest? So close your eyes for a second and let's just dive deep into that, the 2 questions. How much money you'd like to make this year? So I want you to visualize that amount coming into your field now. And feel the difference in your body, right? When you start to feel that energy, that amount, something changes in you, right? So you can play with numbers, right? You can go, all right, how about how much? $10,000. Like, let's see what happens when I receive that. If nothing happens, go above, double it, 20,000. Then go 30,000. Maybe you're one of those that need $100,000 this year, okay, or next year, whatever that is. I want you to feel what changes in your body, right? So when you start to visualize the amount of money coming in from the work you do, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, $100,000, or maybe you'd like to make 300 or 500,000. Does that change the feeling within you? Because if it does, that's your goal. Don't even think about how you're going to make that happen. Okay, so I just want you to feel what it's like when you're starting to receive what you really feel you deserve, what you can handle. Usually that's what it is, what you can handle. Okay. So ask yourself, what do you truly want to manifest? Maybe you want a new partner, a boyfriend, or you want someone to hug you. Is it just money? Because sometimes that's not really what's going to make us happy. It's something else. So be very honest with you, because only you can answer this question. I can't answer it for you. Actually, even if you won the lottery and then that still doesn't make you happy, then that's not the answer. Something will make you really, truly either satisfied, at peace, or feel successful or surprised, depending on your design. So I want you to really set goals for yourself from a place of clarity. Right now, you're here with me. We're here together. Write down on your paper, what is your goal for yourself? Let's say even by the end of this year, right? What is it that you really, really like? If you have that, you're going to feel so happy, so satisfied, so surprised, and you feel like you're the luckiest person alive. And I'm going to teach you today how to raise your vibration, because you can say, oh yeah, Vivian, I have that in my head, but then my body is not caught up with it, right? So then if you're not caught up, if your physical body is not caught up, it's going to be a lot of work. But if it's all aligned, right? So I'm going to teach you step 3, the alignment method, to act as if you've already materialized your desire, bringing it even closer. And you got to know your soul purpose with that, right? You have to know. And step 4, you got to be fully present in the now. So everyone, while we're on this slide, everybody go to humandesignamerica.com. It's a free website. And I want you to really find your own human design chart, because you need to know what are you meant to do? What is your soul purpose? If you don't know that little piece of information, you're going to be so lost trying to chase your tail, and then you're going to build the business. And some people, they build a business and they're like, I'm not really happy because it's so busy and I don't have time for myself. So the goal here is, when you're in alignment with who you really are, then you can build something you love, right? Don't try to build something that for you, it's almost like you created a big rock and then you're hitting your head with it. That is not living. That's not living in alignment, okay? So you have to be happy, right? Generators and MGs, manifesting generators, I'm talking about human design terminologies, right? You have to be satisfied. So not just in your work, but also in yourself, in your relationships, and even with the money you're earning. Because if you're not, it doesn't quite work. It's humandesignamerica.com. That's the link. You can get your free human design chart there. Okay, so I hope everybody has their chart. It's very easy. You have to put your name, your birthday, the time of your birth, the place of your birth. Okay, so majority of you know that already. So I'm going to talk about your own boundary. Okay, and it's going to look like the rainbow around you, because the purpose of having a boundary is to protect and take care of yourself. Nobody else will take care of you but you. Okay, so you have to know that piece. So remember when we were kids, right? And unfortunately, if we've had any kind of traumatic event or some kind of stress, and our parents maybe didn't have the capacity to take care of us, or we didn't know what was happening, then those boundaries are violated, right? So we need to be able to tell other people that they are acting in ways that are not acceptable to us. But you have to know what that is for you. And the first step is starting to know that you have a right to protect and defend yourself. I can tell you a lot of money problems come from boundary issues. Remember that you have the right and the duty to take responsibility for how you allow others to treat you. Only you have that, right? So if our parents never taught us this, I can tell you, because I didn't learn this until, of course, all my boundaries were violated. And so then I learned how to say no. Because I thought, right, Family, well, they should take care of us. So then they should know better. But what if they don't know and nobody taught them? So you have to teach yourself this, your own boundary. So we're going to dig into the money conversation. So it's a physical tool, right? So if you have a bill and you can't pay it, you can't even pay your electric bills, gas bills, then it's kind of hard to live, right? You don't have a roof over your head. So it is also required to sustain ourselves so we can enjoy our purpose. And it is a return on your investment on time. And it's a dedication it takes for us to achieve a mission or objective. In this case, we're going to tie it with your soul purpose. Because if you don't know your purpose, then you don't know what to spend time in, right? And it's a medium of exchange. So for you though, write down all your answers and please don't overthink this. I want you to write down, what is money to you? Money is, and please pay attention, it could be something you heard when you were little, it's fine. If it's still running in your head, it's like a loop. Money equals blank. Money is this. Money means this. So I want you to write down your answers. I kind of want to hear you guys talk about what is money to you. So you can unmute yourself if you want to share things that you've learned and it seems like you're still following it now in this present moment. Anyone want to unmute?
Unmute. I'm not going to stay on video though.
Sure.
Okay, so I just wrote down two things so far because this is just what I heard growing up. What is money? Money is paying your bills.
Okay.
Money is to buy clothes and groceries. And then I'm still going. Money is to buy a car. Mm-hmm. Money is to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Money is to be saved. That's what I heard growing up. That's not what I'm doing.
Okay. It's okay. So what are you using now money for? Money is what to you now, Shifra?
Well, money's all those to me, except I don't, how do I want to say this? I don't have it as a negativity any longer. It's just, it's just a flow of positivity that this is just necessities and it just has to show up. So
Right.
Show up.
Awesome. Thank you. Good job.
Yeah.
Anybody else would like to share?
I would like to share, and I will just get up and I'll do off the video. Okay. For me, money is a tool that allows me to access opportunities and have the quality of life that I want.
Mm-hmm.
It is an avenue for me to pay it forward to enhance the lives of others.
Mm-hmm.
It is for me to live my full life purpose and my the full expression of me.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, it is something that's challenging to manifest.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for your share, Dr. Owen. All right. Miss, how do you say your name? Mugibu?
Mugi.
Mugi. Okay.
Hi, Vivian.
Hi, Mugi. Where did we meet? Did we meet at any of the groups?
Yes, 1-4 profile.
Oh, 1-4. That's right. Okay. You're also 1-4. Hello, 1-4.
Hello, and I have four of the 5 money gates.
Okay. Oh, you have 4 of the 5 money gates. So you should be rich.
So. I guess so. Anyhow, for me, money is freedom, fun, travel, supporting people, comfort, and philanthropy.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. All right. And any challenges you're having now with it?
Yes, I do. I have some challenges now, like before I was more aligned with money, but for the last few years, I'm struggling with it. I don't know. Maybe
Hmm,
it's my mindset. Something comes from subconscious,
right.
whatever. And also, it's also related to the situation of my country as well, because
Mm.
we're really going through tough times in Turkey.
Where are you now? What country?
Turkey, Turkey.
Turkey. Okay, Turkey. Okay. Are you guys in lockdown still? Sorry, I don't watch the news anymore.
We almost never had lockdown.
Oh, okay.
Comparing to like England, we
Uh-huh.
have very short periods of lockdown,
Okay.
and it's not easy to start a new one because the economy is almost collapsed. So
Wow. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. And if you're very sensitive to energy, unfortunately, like if you live in a country, right? Remember I said generators and manifesting generators, we tend to be magnets. So if we live in an environment that everybody experiences poverty or like that, some form of a restriction, unfortunately, we feel it, right? Because we care. It's not like we don't care. We do care.
it's
Most
true.
people
I'm a
have a heart.
manifestor. It's true, but I'm a manifestor myself.
You're a manifester, so you gotta tell these people what to do, or whoever you're, you're in charge of.
I don't know.
Manifestors really gotta just initiate.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's my cross, you know. I'm the cross of vessel of love. Maybe that's
Oh,
why
the
I'm
vessel, right angle or left angle?
right angle 1-4.
Okay, right angle cross of the vessel of love. Yep, you
All
gotta
the
love
vessel of
yourself.
loves yeah, all the vessel of loves are right angles.
Yeah, but you have to love yourself. So if you examine yourself further, what's causing you not to love yourself? And I tell you guys, it could be a minute thing. As you keep on clearing your energetic field, it could be as easy as I remember I went to Sedona one time and I wanted a hamburger or a cheeseburger. I don't even know why. Okay, I wanted a Big Mac. And you're gonna tell me, a Big Mac? Are you a healer? Why do you eat at McDonald's? But that day I was looking for it. Like my taste buds were looking for it. And I decided to not give it to myself, right? So I drove all the way back to the hotel. At 10 o'clock, I was still hungry. So I decided maybe I should just borrow money. At that time, I really didn't have. I'm thinking, well, if I spend another dollar something, maybe I shouldn't. So I finally told my friend and she's like, what? You wanted that? And I ate two something, Thai food and something else, and I wasn't satisfied. So it was that fulfilling that need at the moment that really would just have changed the whole thing, right? But anyway, I learned my lesson. I cannot really not take care of me when that craving comes. And I realized my aha moment then, I do that a lot. I deny myself because of the judgment of what are you thinking? That's not healthy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's that. All right. So I'm going to talk about the money gates here in a bit. So there's different types of boundaries. And I need you to guys use your arms and just kind of feel whether it feels like drafty open, So first just say physical boundary, right? So you'll feel the red boundary around you. So it looks like a big bubble around us, front, side, back. And if you feel an opening or a draft, that means you have a hole. There's an opening in your physical boundary. That's your money boundary. That's survival. That's basically your health, right? And that's your physical relationship with money. So these boundaries are energetic. We can't see them, right? But if you think of a rainbow around you, those are energetic boundaries. They provide protection, they filter, and they magnetize. But it can become rigid. You know how like trauma happened to you, stress, and then you're like, no, I'm never gonna deal with that kind of person again. Or it can become permeable. That means you got a lot of holes. Maybe you've been sliced and diced and everything else is just not working. It seems like you can pay money, but then you don't bring it in, right? It's like it goes out, but it never comes in. So the thing is money, people think it's just in the physical plane. I can tell you, I'm sorry, it's not true. It's not. It's in the physical plane, emotional, relational, or your relationship with yourself and others, and spiritual. All of it, right? So the physical plane is the pure red boundary. The emotional is orange and yellow. Relational is the blue and the green. It's kind of like your chakras if you look at it, right? And spiritual is the purple, or some people see it as white. And when I teach, right, these are the basic chakras, but you have higher planes. You got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 chakras. So if you've done a lot of work already with yourself, but then somehow you probably didn't anchor the lesson that you learned, so the universe will keep on hitting you first with a little slap in the face, and then another 2x4, and then you didn't get the message. You're going to get hit by a big truck, right? Until finally, sometimes we get disabled, and then we got to like sit still and go, okay, what am I doing not quite right? It's possible that you have learned a lesson, but then it was so small that you never really paid attention to it. That's why the universe keeps on repeating it. So when you don't know your own boundary, that's why we use human design to like put it together, right? Because if you know your soul purpose, and by the way, if you printed your chart, your incarnation cross is your purpose. That is what you're meant to do in this lifetime. Sometimes we think of, oh, but I was good at this and I need to do this and blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. It could be it's a history or a memory of something in a past life and you're just bringing it in. It's convenient because you know how to do it. But if you already mastered that lesson, you know, God brought us here again because we're supposed to do something, right? My incarnation cross is right angle cross of penetration. So I can't treat superficially. It doesn't work for me. I gotta like tell you straight to the point, what's the problem, clear the energy, and then you decide what to do with it. Sometimes you've created so much lie around whatever your life is that you don't even know what's real or truthful for you anymore. But I can tell you, it's like a shock, right? When they see me, it's like they get shocked and then they're like, oh, you mean my life is not supposed to be like this? Yeah, because it's not. So I just line you up with your soul purpose so then you can just live your life really freely with satisfaction and joyfulness and peace and whatever else that you like, surprise, right? So I want you to be honest with yourself right now. What are you available for? So go ahead, write it down. You're available for so many things, right? So yes for this. And if you have children, husbands, write it down because you're probably available to those. Dating if you don't have anybody. Just write all the things you're available for right now. I was reading Malada Sakik's astrology report, and it's today is a key week to trust your plan and lean into the ease and discomfort of implementation for your next level growth, November 12 to 13. It is time for manifestation because tomorrow it says it's a high time to decide on service improvements and package your offerings in the next 48 hours. Like you got to do it. And it's funny when I was muscle testing, right? So when we're offering this, I was like, when are we going to do this? And I always muscle test. When is the next time for the event to happen? And it happens to be this week. So I don't question the guidance from the universe. When I muscle test, ask a question, I just follow. It works because my mind is not in the way. All right, so I'm going to hear from somebody else of what are you saying yes to And what are you saying no to? Because that's important. You got to declare to the universe what's your yeses and your nos. Sometimes we're not clear. That's why the universe keeps on testing us. Okay, anybody want to share their yeses and nos?
Hi, Vivian, it's Lauren. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Lauren.
I'm saying more yeses to things that light me up, and whether that's scheduling time with people that I enjoy being with,
Mhm,
relationships I want to nurture,
mhm.
and things that I've said no to in the past that probably wasn't just because I was in an environment where I didn't feel it was okay to say yes to.
Okay.
And so basically no at this point would be things that I feel like is draining to me.
Right.
That could be relationship. It could be things that I may not need, just kind of declutter.
Right.
And more of just the busyness, just
Mhm.
saying no to that, because that was probably what was keep me going and keeping me numb to the things that I could have been saying yes to.
Right. Very good. Those are great ahas. Thank you for sharing, Lauren. We'll take two more. What are you saying yes to? Who wants to share?
Because I don't like the silence.
Okay, Shifra, can we give Ashley a chance and then I'll go
Oh,
to
sure. That's
No,
no worries.
Thank you. Thank you, Shifra. Ashley, go ahead.
Hi, I'll just share.
Uh-huh.
I am saying yes to community, love, friendship, compassion, abundance, prosperity, and education.
Nice. Perfect. Thank you. And what are you saying no to?
I am saying no to abuse, gossip, narcissism, anger, hostility, bullying, and people pleasing.
Yay. Love it.
Yay.
Love it. All right.
Thank you.
Shifra, go ahead and unmute.
Oh, okay. I made it really simple. I said more love to my son, because I always send him love.
Yeah.
Kindness to others and to meet kind, like-minded people.
Mhm.
I'm available for grandbabies when they're ready.
That's cute. Okay.
I'm available to success with my video.
Nice.
I'm available for success in getting the name I want for my branding. I'm available for that.
Okay.
Available for more massages and pampering and serenity with ease. And then two things showed up for not available. I think it kind of just wraps everything up for me. Is I'm not available for mean people, which is the same thing that Ashley just said. She just listed them out. Which I was like, yes, that's exactly what I mean by the mean people. And then failure. I'm not available for failure.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll add, please be kind to yourself, because sometimes the failures are actually just the universe's way of telling us to detour. It's not a failure. It's just like, oh, there's a better way than doing that. So think of it
Yeah, I understand that part. What I mean by failure is I'm not willing just to completely fail.
Got it. Okay. Well, you have your own standards for that. So make sure you follow those. All right, so this is how you can repair your physical boundary money issues, right? Because when you repair your boundaries, it'll help you a lot, okay? So number one, I want you to forgive yourself and others for believing that money can hurt. So go ahead and write down the things wherein you really got really mad at yourself. Because, sometimes people borrow money, they don't return it. Maybe sometimes you invested in something, but it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to be. You had a different expectation, right? So I want you to write down the times that you were really so pissed off about how you managed your money in the past, because that's super important. So other people could go into the blaming, shaming, complaining mode of somebody did this to me. But remember, you haven't forgiven you. Sometimes you haven't forgiven them. You got to go down your rabbit hole list and really write it out. Because if you're still mad at something or someone, I realized this when I was working on myself. And I said, you forgot to forgive you because you were part of that equation. I was in that relationship of some sort, whether it's personal or business, right? So you have to forgive you and acknowledge that money is an object that holds the blessings of the world. So from today, I would love for you to carry cash everywhere you go. It doesn't matter. Like I tell people, carry cash that you're uncomfortable with. Because see, if you have a dollar bill, $5, $10, $20, okay, that's not it. It doesn't make you uncomfortable, right? But if you start holding $100 bill in your wallet, right? You don't need to spend it. You just have to carry it. That's the key. You got to get used to carrying a large sum that gives you that little discomfort, because you got to get used to it. And then you add and add and add so it doesn't bother you eventually, to receive it and to have it. Okay. Then think about money. The next step is you blur boundaries between money coming in and money going out, because we get this like, oh, I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay. I'm not, like that. But if you think about you taking oxygen and then you don't release, you're like, you're stuck, right? So breathing is an inhale, exhale. Like in yoga, we inhale 8 breaths and then we exhale. So everybody inhale, exhale, because I want you to just pay attention how you're breathing. So if you inhale, but you don't exhale, that's part of the reason why money doesn't come to you with ease. So go ahead, keep on breathing until you start to feel an evenness of the flow. So when we breathe in, think about like this blue energy coming from the earth through your feet to the back of your spine and top of your head. And I usually tell people to go 2 feet above, because that's your manifestation chakra. And then release. Keep the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. So if you notice, you don't even go past your neck. That's why your brain can't receive the message. Okay, do it again. So don't be frustrated in the beginning if you can't go high. You just need to practice. Try it. I can promise you it'll just make making money so much easier for you. So most generators and manifesting generators, we're supposed to respond. That's our design. But we try to do the work, right? Like, no, I got to initiate. I got to do this. I got to do this. This is how I make money. That's not how we make money. I can promise you that. You have containers like this, right? You show something, what's your skill, what's your knowledge, but you have to wait for whatever you offered for them to respond to you. You don't rush them. You don't say, come on, come on, come on, come on. Are you going to do it? Yes or no? No, 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 no. Because it's like pushing your stuff onto people, and that is not your design. Your design is to offer it and then you wait. Yes, you give deadlines, you give limiters, that's fine, but you still have to wait. Because if you keep on pushing, it doesn't work. Okay?
Can I say something about that? Because I thought, because on the other end, so I know that I get informed and then I wait to respond. So I was not aware that it worked both ways for a manifesting generator and a generator. It works both ways.
It works
That makes
both ways.
so
So
much
now you have
sense.
the manifesting side, so you could initiate Shifra, but it doesn't mean you can push. When the person is ready, because the manifesting generators, you guys change your minds faster than a generator, okay? That's normal. But you still have to wait. So the generator in you needs to wait to respond. So if somebody says yes, but then there's something within you that feels kind of weird, like, why do I even have to take this client? Because it feels like they're like 3 times the work that a normal client is, then you can say no, that's fine. But you still have to wait. No, I'm not kidding. It's true. It doesn't mean that when they responded, you have to say yes to every single request they have. No, not really. It's still your container. It's kind of like my house, right? I can allow certain people in, but it doesn't mean just because you want to come in my house, I'm going to let you in. Not really. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Think about your whole body as a house. So you're not going to let people in that you don't like, do you? Like you're probably going to think twice. So you have to just know who you are and then respond accordingly to that. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So the next step, the third step is, this is an exercise. You guys can do this after we're done. Get as much money pulled together, whatever cash you have, right? Throw it in the dry bathtub, and then you start to almost like give it a ceremony. Imagine it multiplying as you do, and then climb into the bathtub. You got to feel it. You got to be comfortable with it, because if there's something negative within you that repels money, it's like, ew, I don't want to touch it. It's kind of dirty. You are not going to attract it. Like, you know, with some people, right? We make money, and then as soon as we get it, we just kind of like start spending. That is, there's something there. Like you can't even keep it. You can't even enjoy it. Why? So there's something a little bit unconscious about that. And you can use cash for purchases, because honestly, if you have actual wounds that created your monetary insecurity, that's why you behave like you do when it comes to. These are physical, right? These are real physical life situations that we encounter. So if physically we don't really value it, we're not going to have it. The universe will just say, okay, I'll give it to somebody who really appreciates having it. So the forgiveness, important. Carry it everywhere you go, okay? And then when you give money to somebody, you got to bless that money. You go, thank you so much for blessing someone's life, because it'll come back to you multiple times. Okay? All right. Now let's go to charging your services. This is fun. I want you to ask yourself, how much does your household need every month to get paid from your business? Go ahead, write down the number. Now, for those of you who haven't figured out how to do this, you do have to write down all your expenses, because you have to know what your expenses are. So we're going to do a little exercise on how many people have to take your offer every month if you charge this amount. So let's just play with these 3 numbers. $100 a session, $1,000 for whatever package you offer, or $10,000, okay? So go ahead and write down your home expenses. So let's do a little exercise together. Write down your home expenses right now, and write down all your business expenses. I want you to write it all down. So write down your mortgage or rent. Maybe you have a husband, you also divide that up. So go ahead, write it down. I'm sure you pay for electricity and water and gas in your car. Maybe you buy some clothes, or maybe you don't. Food and groceries, right? Or when you go out, you kind of do a little social life here and there. So that's your own home expenses. That's like your personal stuff. Really write down your personal expenses. I'm sure you have a clue of how much you guys spend every month, right? So confronting just means you're standing in front of something and you're looking at it in the eye. I really want to give you that gift, because if you don't know what that is, you could be in the clouds trying to hide. You don't even know how much you need to bring in. You need to know your basic minimum needs for you to have a business. Because a business is like a baby. You got to take care of it, right? You got to feed the baby is what I'm saying. If you don't feed the baby, it won't live. I'm laughing, but it's true. So go ahead, write it all down. Is this helpful, you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Now, for those of you, some of you are just starting a business, and some of you probably you have a business, but you don't know, is it making money? How come I had money last month, but then I don't have money this month? Like, why? So go ahead and write down your business expenses and then add it all up, because there's something missing there, right? So this one, we're going to use your mind and your brain for this. As you notice, I have a high level coaching that I pay for, right? Every single month. Why? Because I would like to keep on up leveling. So that's like part of my minimum, monthly expense. Because if I don't know what it is, then I'm just going to be like, oh, let me just invest here. And let me just do this. And let me do that. But then I don't know what I'm doing, right? So if I know, okay, I need to make this much money every single month, then it's easier. You have to know your numbers, because that's tangible. It is not negotiable. You can't pretend you don't know. Oh, I don't know. Because you should know. You should know. That sounds about right. So just the one on the right side, if you look at it, it's about $9,099, right? That's kind of like how a business expense is usually when you have a team. 10 to 12,000 is normal. And that's not full-time team, right? You look at it, those are all contractors. So let's declare, okay, so home expenses, household expenses. Let's just, can someone share what they found as their number?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. What?
Oh, I'm
Okay.
just figuring stuff out. It's like, wow, I wasn't.
Okay, so what does it say, Shifra? What's your home expenses and what's the business expense?
Well, they're kind of just all wrapped into each other, because I work from home, so everything's kind of wrapped into each other. So I got a lot of more money to make.
What does it say? What's the home and the business? Want to share your number?
No.
No. Okay, that's okay. All right. Anybody?
No, I'm just like going, oh my gosh, I see, like, I've been putting this off.
Yep. Sometimes we don't want to see it, but then remember, if you don't know what it is, you can't move forward, because it's like trying to navigate in the dark. It's not going to get there, right? You're not going to get there if you don't know what you're starting with. It's kind of like, do I have one set of package of food for me to like last for like a day, or can I last for 30 days to do this business, right? Okay, anybody else wants to share the number? Their number. Okay, you guys got quiet. Okay, Dr. Owen, go ahead, unmute.
A personal 5,000, Business 12,000.
Okay, awesome. So you guys know at least Dr. Owen has to make $36,000 a month, at least, times 3. So whatever business expense you have, if you multiply it by 3, at least, okay? That's how much you need to make every single month in order for you to keep on going, to sustain this business, whatever business you want to create. Okay? Is this good? Are you getting
Yes.
value out of this?
Yes.
Okay, they said yes, good. All right, let's have a checklist. Ask yourself this, do you have a product or service you're offering? Yes or no? Just yes or no. Okay, because a lot of times this is where people like the rubber meets the road. Like, but I have a one-on-one. Okay, you can start with that. No problem, one-on-one. Okay, but how many of those do you need to sell in order to actually make the money that you said you're gonna make? Times 3 of the business expense you had, times 3, right? How many of those do you need to sell? And 2, are you confident about what results you deliver for people? Because if you are not confident with you, and you're a generator or an MG or a projector or reflector, they're not going to be confident in you because you're just like a mirror to them. If you don't trust you, they won't trust you. What marketing methods do you use to reach your ideal audience? Could be Facebook. So I got shut down at Facebook. So I go, okay, I'll do Zoom. So I just go with another flow, another method. And so calculate how many of these do you need to have your monthly income goal. So whatever business expense you have, you guys, times 3, that's your income goal every month. All right, so let's try this. So go ahead, just put a table. This is how much you sell your product. So you don't have to do 100, 1,000, or 10,000, right? Whatever package you have or products you sell, write it all down. How many number of goods do you need to sell in order for you to have a revenue every month? So go ahead and work your magic, work your math. It's just magical math. Now, some of you guys are so good at manifesting. Like as soon as you write it down, you're like, oh my God, here's another client looking for my service. That's as easy as that. You get clear. And then you literally broadcast to the universe that, oh yeah, this is what I'm selling and helping people with. And then they come see you. You don't even know where they come from. That's the energy of manifestation. You have to be clear so that you can be seen. Because if you look like a rabbit, you say you're a rabbit, right? But you're like a horse. It doesn't work like that. When you advertise to the people that you're the rabbit, you're supposed to look like a rabbit and be the rabbit, not a horse, right? So what I'm saying to you is the transparency and the clarity within you will radiate that energy to somebody else. Doesn't matter what you use. It could be Facebook, Twitter, it could be LinkedIn, anywhere, because you are clear. When you're clear, people find you. Very easy.
Can you send out this chart so that we can make a copy of this chart?
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you. You guys registered, so because you have the link.
Yeah, I'd like to have a copy of this chart because this would really be good just to put in, just to do every month or put on the refrigerator just to kind of mark and have a reality.
Yes. All right. Is anybody getting some ahas? I need to know if you guys are benefiting from this. Anyone getting any ahas? What's your aha? Amy, you're like smiling. Why don't you unmute? You're like, I'm laughing.
I am laughing because I just realized I don't need to take on as many clients as I thought I needed to meet the income goal that where my business is at right now.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm like, oh, I really only need to take 3 people in my big program and maybe 4 one-off people a month, and I'm comfortable.
That's
I'm extremely comfortable with that income. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, see, you don't have to give yourself so much work, right? I mean, that's a good aha, because then you're like, what if a fourth client comes in? Well, it's up to you whether you feel like you want to take them in or not, or they have to wait another time for the next round. Yeah, like in my human design, I'm unit. So I really don't take a lot of people, but I also don't charge very cheap, as you notice, because my energy, that's what it can handle. So then I do a good job for those people because they're my clients, right? And then the ones that are, but when it's too many, no, I can't handle that. I can tell you, not so nice things happen. Just too much drama when it's too many, and then they don't want to pay, because that's not what my design is what I'm saying. Okay. All right. All money problems originated from and with emotional issues, according to an unknown financial therapist. So ask yourself these questions. Are you constantly broke, or life has broken you? Yes or no? Just yes or no. Don't even explain it. Are you usually in debt, or does the world owe you? Just write it down. Yes, no. Do you need others to rescue you monetarily? Do you struggle to stay with a budget? Maybe you don't have boundaries. Or do you constantly rescue others financially, and then you end up the one to be rescued later, right? Those are emotional boundary issues. It's almost like your worth is related to the money you have or don't have. And when you guys realize that it shouldn't be like that, it doesn't mean anything at this point, right? If though you see a pattern, you most likely have a broken emotional boundary. That's why you keep on doing the same pattern. So until you put in the real physical boundaries of it, right? Like, oh, that didn't feel good. Like, why did I say yes? Remember the yes, no question? If you say yes, you really mean 100% yes. And if you say no, it could be not for now. It doesn't have to be no forever. It's just right now, it's not a yes, right? So emotional, remember the orange and the yellow boundary? That's your emotional empower boundaries, basically. So your relational boundary issues usually come from your mother and father stuff and power versus love. So if you've seen, like, let's say somebody holds the purse in your house, maybe your father or your mother, and somehow you see almost like an abuse of, like, your mother can't do anything until your father says so. You've seen some pattern of a relationship. And then unfortunately, because these are unconscious imprinting and programming, right? You carry that over to your relationship. And sometimes you fight. I know, I've been in that relationship, right? We fight over everything, okay? So in the past, it's almost like a power trip. And it's like, okay, whoever has money has the power. Basically, that's that, right? But what if you can have power and love, and it's not like the man is the one in charge? What if the woman is the one in charge, right? How does the dynamics change? It does change. I can tell you that because we went through the whole thing, right? And now it's different because it's no longer the father is in charge or the mother just kind of follows. No, it's when we've shifted that relationship, it's now like an even decision making. So certain things I take, certain things he takes. Does that make sense? But it took releasing all these issues in the relationship department in order for us not to fight over money. Does that make sense? I mean, is this sounding familiar, you guys? Does anybody have this type of household, like growing up, you've noticed differences, right? Like, because it doesn't apply to all families. Unfortunately, everybody has a different dynamic. But usually if it's one over the other, like there's a fight over it, mom versus dad, power versus love, usually you have this relational boundary issues. So sometimes we go into contracts and we just accept anybody just because they paid us. But you're like, oh my God, I really hate that relationship, or like, I hope this client is done already. You're just waiting for it to finish, right? The contract that you've signed. So don't enter relationship is what I'm telling you. Don't enter contracts that you really don't like. It doesn't work. You're always going to find ways to get mad at someone or to be upset about something because there's no clarity in the beginning or throughout the relationship. So the more you're clear, like there's parameters, right? And sometimes it unfolds, then you just modify it accordingly, modify the contracts accordingly, but you gotta say something if it doesn't work for you. Because otherwise you hold it in, you keep it in, and then you start having some kind of sickness. That doesn't help you, right? Because now you're going to spend money in order to just fix yourself, when in fact you're just upset because you couldn't say what you wanted to say, couldn't express your point of view with the other people that you're in contract with. Yeah? Sometimes we don't know everything, right? When we enter something, but make sure you're consistent with your responses is what I'm saying. So these are the emotions linked to money. So money is not the problem because money is neutral. It's not black or white. It is just money, okay? It's energy. When you're angry, it signals a boundary violation. Following through on anger creates structure, therefore joy of safety. So do you see now why a structure is important in business? Because if I offer something, for example, and then the next time I'm like, oh no, I changed my mind. I'm not going to offer that again. And then it's a different price point. It's a different strategy. It's a different everything. You're like, what happened? I thought I paid for that, but then you're doing something else, right? So you have to be clear. So then you also know where you go, yes or no, right? Like, no, that's not what I offer, or this is what I offer. So anger always signals a boundary violation. Somebody is violating the parameters you've set. Fear, you're afraid because you don't know fully. So it tells us we or someone is in danger. So it prompts us to take action. So it's actually when you're afraid, you got to take action. It could be pick up the phone. It could be walk outside. It doesn't matter. When you're afraid, you got to shake it off. You got to move that energy out of you. Sadness tells us we're out of touch with love. Joy flourishes where there is love. Disgust is another emotion. Suggests that someone or an act or behavior or substance is bad for us. So when you get rid of that or abstain from the toxin or from the person that you think you're disgusted with, then you feel better. Try it. It does work. Now, shame, when you have this shame, you have a feeling that something's wrong with you. So when you're feeling ashamed of something, you got to ask yourself, what is wrong with me? Or maybe you're thinking something's wrong with you when there's something wrong with the situation. Okay? And guilt is when you feel you did something wrong. Again, based on your standard, what is that? Right? So if you keep on taking on, if you think about, if you don't have a boundary and you keep on taking on people's stuff, you're always going to feel guilty. But then you're like, why am I guilty again? If you don't meet your standard, right? Let's say you put a standard for yourself and you don't meet that standard because you always violate that same standard. It could be as little as, I'm not going to eat rice or bread for the whole month. But then you keep on like, ooh, just a little bit. Cheat, right? Cheat a little bit. So of course you can feel guilty because you're the one who created that standard, but you're the one who's violating it. But let's say your mother said, don't spend more than $50. Maybe that's your mother's rule. But then you're like, but I made $300 today. Like, I can't spend $50, but that's her standard. So when you try to go with her standard, of course, you're going to feel guilty because you're spending $50 or more than that when you've earned $300. Is this making sense? So guilt is, your true guilt is when you set your standard and you violated your own standard. That is guilt. But unfortunately, think about religion, society. It's like, if you didn't do this, you're bad. Okay, well, they're trying to guilt me, right? So I'm like, Yeah, but that's not a standard I accept. I'm like, okay, fine. Then that's your thing. So I don't have to take that on because it's not mine. They imposed it, so they can follow it. Oh, this is so cute. Are you guys getting any ahas from all these emotions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let me see. Write down your money beliefs from your mom and dad, because somehow I'm sure they gave you something, right? So go ahead, write it down. What did you hear a lot from your mother? Yeah, my mother always said, you gotta give, you gotta give. Oh no, that's bad if you don't give. My mom's like that. It's like, but mom, they're bad to me. Yeah, you still have to keep on giving. I'm like, huh? See, so now I have this internal barometer. When somebody tells me their stuff, I go, okay, good. Oh, yeah, I heard it, but I don't need to follow it because it's not mine. I'm getting my itchy nose. I think somebody's thinking about me and talking about me right now. It's all good.
So it's been a really long time since my parents.
Yeah.
Well, my dad's been gone a long time, my mom 4 years. You know, and just I can just like the first thing that came is my mother always just say money doesn't grow on trees. And her father did too. My grandfather did as well. And so I just when I first hear, you know, that money's energy and we can create it, you know, that was just such a hard concept, which I understand more now. And my dad was, I loved my dad with all my heart. He was my best friend, but he was the cheapest person I ever met. And he used to, you know, think don't spend a lot of money. Like don't spend a lot of money.
Right.
So I had to change that thinking because I love spending money.
Yeah.
So, and don't spend a lot of money. I do look for great deals. I do that. I do that.
Right.
But they were just, and then doing the bills, I just remembered them arguing back and forth of who was going to pay the bills that month. Oh, I'll do it this time. You do it. If you don't like the way I do it, then you do it. So that is just like money was, I'm going to say money was fear to me. Fear.
Oh, fear. Yeah. You're almost afraid to confront it, basically.
Yes. Which I didn't get a snapshot of what fear meant. But that was, fear is the first thing that came up.
Yeah. And when you can confront something, then you have control over it at that point.
Exactly.
If you don't look at it, well, I'm like, is it going to bite? Or is it going to jump at me? It's like, if you can't even be present in front of it, then yeah, you are afraid of it.
Whew. That was powerful.
Yeah. So the first step is you have to accept your spiritual calling. So everybody has their purpose, right? So can you guys write it on the chat or just say it, unmute yourself and just tell me what your purpose is, the incarnation cross. What does it say? Because that's what you're meant to do in this lifetime. What is that for you?
Well, mine's a cross, mine's a mask. Mine's
right
a mask.
Angle cross of mask, right angle.
Right or is it left? I think it's left. Wait, where'd it go? It's left angle. It's the left.
So left angle means you are here for you and the community also. Yeah. And if you guys go to humandesign.tools, you can actually take a look at your purpose and I would suggest you read that.
I'm actually taking a class. I'm taking a class right now. So,
cool. So
and I'm learning about it.
You post it and really like confront it and kind of like read it a few times because it takes a while to really know who you are, especially if we've been programmed to be something else, right? It's so important you know your purpose because that's what you're meant to do in this planet. That's what you're meant to be in this planet.
To be here for other people?
Yeah, like for you. Well, for mask, like you have to read what that is and then really convert.
Oh yeah, I wear a mask a lot. I wear a mask. I wear a mask.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe people don't always know what I'm thinking.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So if you can strengthen, Ashley says right angle cross of planning. Yes, you have to plan, Ashley. I think Sarah is also the same right angle cross of planning. Not for everybody. It's for you. You got to plan your life, because if you don't have a plan, like, how are you going to, it's kind of like having a blueprint. It doesn't mean that every single step has to be the same way, but at least have like a container. Like if you're going to build a house and it's like, what are the ingredients needed to build a house? But if you don't know, well, you might, I'm like, I think I need a cement or something else, or do I need some nails or how do I get a roof, right? So you got to have the ingredients necessary to make it happen. Yeah. Left angle cross up refinement. Left angle just means she's responsible for herself plus the community. So whatever they know, they just kind of get better at it, right? Refinement, like make it better. Whatever you already have, she can make it better. That's Amy Fahim. So the goal is, if you can confidently charge for your services, if you know what your purpose is, if you know what 80% of what you need to do in this life is every day, and the kind of business you need to build, then you can confidently charge for your service. Because, you know, there are no two people that are alike, right? We may be both coaches, but then you got a different style than I do. I just know, I go straight to the point and I say, this is it, right? How are we going to make this happen? That's me. What if you can attract the right clients? Well, if you stay in your lane and not to do multiple things and you just do what you're good at, then you're going to attract the clients. You got to hire the other parts that are not your genius zone. We go to Sedona a lot. That's why I showed you this picture. And if you can overcome your hidden money blocks, it would be so good, right? Super good. I think somebody asked me about the money gates. Okay, so I want you to take a look at if you have these gates, just for bonus, because I just love sharing with you what those are. I always my nose is itchy, so I think people are talking about me. I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute. All right. Did they just remove my stuff about money? I love those money gates. Hold on. So in your human design, right? There were a few gates inside, and I'm not going to discuss human design here because there's so many of it. There is, I know the gate 14 is a money gate. So make sure, just find that. If you also have gate, what are my money gates? Hold on. I can share this with you just because I know.
The others are 2,
20,
45, and 55.
Okay, say the names again. Thank you, Mookie, right?
Muge.
Muge.
It's
Okay.
a French name, yeah.
Go ahead. So gate 2, gate 14,
14, 21,
21,
45, and
45,
55.
45, and 55. Perfect. 5 gates. So if you have any of those gates, you shouldn't really worry about money.
Any of them is enough?
Yeah, even if you have 1 or 2. If you have that gate, you shine the light on people, right? So you have to replace your own spiritual misperceptions about prosperity. Because if you don't know how to clear your own money gates, maybe you have a lot of programming there, then it can't shine the light. It's like a lighthouse, right? So if you really want to have prosperity, you got to activate the gates, and you got to be hanging out with the people that actually activate those gates and bring out the best in you, right? So I was going to invite you guys because we're doing all these free master classes, right? Tomorrow, we're going to have Vienna is our emotion code practitioner. You get triggers, right, when it comes to emotions. But if you can clear those, what's going to happen? I can tell you in a few minutes. You just like, oh, how come I worried about that before? I don't know. But the way we were setting up our event, I want to really give you a full experience. So we're going to do this for 2 half days on Friday, Saturday, and you get a 2-day bonus clearing from me to clear the whole year. to pave the way for 2022. That's what you're getting from our ticket. So I want you to, I'm going to give you guys this presentation. You can review it again, because maybe with all these aha moments you're getting, finally you're going to be like, I got it. That's the reason why I'm having problems when it comes to money, right? But when you finally realize that there's more to life than having, not having it, it's you. You're the one that's not welcoming it. It's never, it's because of this, and this. When you can finally say yes to you and no to others that really just waste your time, the money will come to you with ease. I was sharing one client, I treated her once, right? I think we spent about 2 hours doing the session, but well, she got 20 times her investment basically in 3 days. She got some kind of grant. I was like, oh, that's good. Congratulations. Now you can do whatever you want with your business. So that was her aha moment. It was easy. It's just, you got to be you. That's the secret. Okay. All right. So I'm going to open it up. Vienna, you want to say hi? Because you're going to be presenting tomorrow, just to hear your voice. You can unmute yourself.
Hello, hello. Looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. And by all means, invite some friends. Anybody that you get, can they still access the recording of yours tomorrow? Beautiful.
Yeah, if they signed up here today, I'm going to send you guys the recording, or my VAs will, and then they will basically, you can review it again, because that itself, sometimes it already opens your money gate. Just the presence of just being in that flow, right? It happens all the time. So you don't have to. The thing is, people think like, I got to do something to make this. Stop it.
Right? Stop. Just stop. Just receive.
Just be yourself, right? And just be okay. And you're going to have fun.
Exactly. So if they tell friends about the classes coming up, can they still get the recording of what you did today? If they're going, oh, it was so good. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So I hope you guys learned today. Any questions? We're opening the floor for questions. You can ask me any question about you, about anything. So is it clear that when you align your energy to you, not to me, align to you, right, to your soul purpose, it'll just be magical. It's easy that way. You don't have to align to any principle. You are you. So when you find the grandness and the beauty of you, that's when people come to you. That's how you can charge for your services. Yeah. I know you're thinking, how come it's that easy? How come nobody taught me this before? I don't know. Maybe you weren't ready for it. I just think that way. Okay, Dr. Owen.
Yeah, when you're projecting in terms of money, as you had us to do, do we also take into consideration the future? Because if we just plan for now, what happens is that we're planning so closely that there isn't flexibility in terms of possibilities, or should we not be thinking of that?
No, you live in the present. Because what happens is, it's almost like you're telling the universe, the message is, I can't spend this money now, right? Like if I have like $500 in the bank, I can't pay that, because then I don't have anything to eat. So you're basically saying that, well, I don't have money to spend tomorrow, so I'm not going to spend that today. So you're not trusting that the universe can actually deliver another set for you. And I've done this many times, by the way, you guys. So I realized this because before I never trusted the universe. I'm honest, right? I did it. And then I'm like, there must be something wrong with my head, because I was thinking very negatively about money. And then somehow it feels like it just goes out, right? It always goes out. And then I started telling myself this belief. I was driving. I was a physical therapist. I was driving to work. And I said to myself, money comes to me several days before I need it, because somehow I had this need. I have to have it, right? Like need. And I started saying, money comes to me. I was saying the affirmation. And at first I wasn't believing it. I'm telling you, I had to say it several times. In my heart, I was feeling it in my heart and in my gut. I didn't believe what I was saying. Money comes to me way before I need it. That's what I said. Way before I need it. I keep on saying the affirmation. And then I realized I felt it shift. I felt something inside of me shift. And then I heard this something like, oh, by the way, this money got deposited in your account. At that time, my physical therapy clinic, we always had delayed reimbursement. And so we always get money late, right? But somehow when I got to the clinic, I got this big chunk of check. I go, oh my God, my affirmation really worked. So then I started realizing that I had my mindset and I was projecting to the universe the lack of it. Hence, the universe was just giving me back whatever I was believing. Is this making sense? Yeah.
How were you projecting the lack of it when you were saying that the money's coming to you way before you need it?
I was saying it, but I wasn't believing it until I felt a click. Because I was working so hard. I had this thinking in my head that I had to work hard in order to receive it. And if I'm not working hard, by the way, I thought that I wouldn't receive it. And there was one time my family and I went on vacation in Hawaii, and I was so stressed out because I felt like, oh my God, I'm not working. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I had so many phone calls from my board-in care for the elderly. I was like, why are you guys calling me when I'm on vacation? And it hit me that, oh, when I'm relaxed, they come to me. But I'm so stressed out about thinking about it, it doesn't come to me. It like avoids me. Is this making sense, you guys? Like I realized I didn't even know I was stressed out, okay? Because I just thought we were supposed to work hard and then we make money, right? That's Philippines. That's how we were trained. And then I'm like, oh, I just sit here. And if I don't have any clients, then it's okay. I'm just going to relax, go to the park, do my thing. And then suddenly I have a call. That's how easy it becomes. So now I can tell when I'm working so hard and then nothing's happening. I just like, meh, forget about it. I'm just going to do my thing. That's why you guys see me a lot do videotaping, meditating, because that's how, as a generator, that's how I bring it in. Because the energy is so magnetic, right? Like they love you when you love yourself and you are enjoying your life. Is this making sense? You don't love your life, people are not going to pay you. Because like, why would they want that kind of life? They don't want to work that hard and they don't want to be stressed. So if that's your message, you're not going to get it. You're not going to make the money. It doesn't flow like easily that way. When you guys realize the truth of it, that's how it is. It works with flow. So when you're not in the flow, then you got to find an activity that gets you in the flow. That is the key to your prosperity.
When you say you are in the flow, is it that you are positive about your life? Is that?
No. Remember my prosperity key? My prosperity key is power or leadership.
Okay.
So if I'm a victim, money comes out the door. Something breaks in the house. My car breaks down. Something happens because I'm acting like a victim. I am not acting in my prosperity key. So if you're a prosperity key or your personality Jupiter, whatever that is, it's celebration, recognition. It could be simplicity. You got to know what that number is. If you know your personality key, you got to stay there.
So how did you find that? How do you find that out?
Remember in your human design on the right
Yes.
side, there's a number 4 looking sign. So whatever that number is, so what's your number there, Doc?
I don't have it with me at the moment. So.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Whatever that is for you, I think, did you send me your thing? Did you send me your in the past?
What's the symbol again, Vivian? What's the symbol?
It's like a number 4 on the right side of the chart. Let's see if I have it. Well, you're also right angle cross of penetration, Doc. You just get.
What is that?
Yeah.
What
You're
is
the
that?
same as me. Basically, you get to the point of what's the problem.
Okay.
You don't have to. You don't have to think it. You just know when you enter an organization. You just know. I don't have your chart unless you used a different. I don't know why.
Remember we did it when I met you, we did it.
Yeah. But you're a generator, it says here, and you
Mhm.
are a 2-4 profile. Right angle cross of penetration, it says. I don't have it here. I know I saw it in the past, so. Yeah, so when you find what that is, on the right side, the point something with a number 4, the symbol is a number 4, that's Jupiter. That
Mhm.
is your personality, Jupiter. That is the way you make money.
Okay.
And you got to just stay there and stay like, that's how you make money. If it's, you have to celebrate, you got to celebrate. If it's to be recognized, you got to be recognized. That's how it is. If it's nature, you got to go. If it's a 0.6, it's nature.
Okay. So therefore I do look for the number, look at the
Mhm.
the assessment and look for that number, and then I would know which one it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you guys
Vivian,
have a
sorry.
question on that one? Go ahead, Mugi.
Can you please repeat again? What does Jupiter in personality side represent?
So on the right side of your chart, I'll just share with you this table. Okay, on the right side of your chart, there's a number 4. It's a symbol, right? On the right. It's kind of like 2/3 down below. So if you guys look at this whole column on the right side, so we're going to go over this in the event more, like the whole thing, right? So if your chart is a 0.1 in your personality Jupiter, you just have to make your business and your life simple. The more complicated you make it, like too many offers, people don't know who you are, don't know what to do. You'll make money when you're simple. Line 2, if you have a 0.2, you got to be recognized. You got to either recognize yourself or be recognized by somebody or a panel or something or an organization. For those with 0.3, you got to celebrate. If you don't celebrate your little wins, even, you're not going to have big wins. That's how you make money. Or you can create celebrations like we are having parties, right? For Christmas, things like that. It's up to you. 0.4 is charity. If you don't do charity, please include yourself. You give charity to others, but you forget yourself. That's a problem. You're not going to make money. So this is how you lose money. 0.5 is power or leadership. If you're always a victim or you're like, oh God, oh, I'm not in control of that. Okay, like forget it. Your money will go out the door like crazy. And 0.6 is nature. So if you don't spend time in nature, you can forget your money goodbye. That's how simple making money is. And if you just practice your side, don't practice everything, right? Practice your side of the story. What is your personality key? What's your prosperity key? That's what you need to be in order for you to be in the money flow. That's how simple it is. Please don't make your life complicated. I'm here to tell you that life is simple if you make it simple. So Shifra, I have what Beth told me when I engage in charity with people's bodies, I am to be prosperous. She said to give more than what people pay for. Yeah. So you're just, yeah, the charity part is the exchange, right? So if you say you're going to do this, but you're giving more, that's still charity.
And I don't even have to tell them. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Don't even tell
them. Yeah, you don't have to tell. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Good. Okay, is that clear, you guys? Are you getting the aha on how to align yourself to your energy centers and how to be prosperous and just abundant? Is this helpful?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
I will say the last time I did the I Ching and I did all this, I was a 1 and a 1. And not only did Beth get back to me on that, Mindy got back to me on that too, saying that I am so ready to move forward. So this stuff is just the most fascinating stuff in the world.
Good. Thank you. Awesome. All right, you guys. So tomorrow, whatever came up today, Vienna is going to help you release those emotional triggers when it comes to money and prosperity, because that's normal, you guys. Don't feel bad like, oh my God, why is this coming up again? I thought I had a healing, because you're going to the next level again, right? So maybe you're so used to your life a certain way, and then you're like, would be nice if I have this, this, and that. So please don't judge yourself because you want more out of life. It's just called growth, right? Remember when we were little, like we were infants, you're like, it would be nice if I can crawl or sit or stand or walk or run, right? So we're just going to the next evolution of your progress. So don't judge yourself because you want more. Be happy because you have this desire to get better, instead of, oh my God, I thought I should just be a monk. I think I was a monk before, but I can tell you it would be nice to donate to monks, right? So then I can think of it that way, like, oh, I can have my school for kids with purpose, and then we can actually help, a lot of people, give them jobs. That's a different story, right? So you decide what works for you. If you want something simple, go for it. If you want something different, don't judge your desires just because it'll take you to your next level each time. All right?
A quick question.
Yeah.
For tomorrow, do we have to look at our chart and figure out these things?
No, because whatever came up for you today, what emotions, you probably want to bring that up so that when Vienna comes in, then she can teach you how to release some of those things and share with you what happens actually when you release a negative or a blocked emotion that is like preventing you to the next level. So you're going to experience different healers all throughout the week. So invite people and join us, right? So thank you.
Yes.
And I'll send you the recording. So invite more people so that they can learn too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.